Okay, you're listening to Adjunct Joe. It is daily review time. April 2nd already. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Already April 2nd. Who would have thunk it? Today's movie. Oh, I don't have it right in front of me. Hang on. Oh, Jesus. Ching. Oops. Sex lies and sex lies and videotapes. Whoa! And look at this. Can we see that in the light? It does like there you can kind of see that, like it moires. This plastic makes it moire like a video. Very clever. This is a little book that comes with it. Okay. Yeah, so this is Steven Soderbergh's first movie. Some would say it's, one of the great debut films ever made. Certainly of the 80s. This is 1989, his first film. And by the title, you might guess what it's about, and it might seem way more salacious than it actually is. For a movie called Sex, Lies, and Videotapes, there's not much sex. There's no sex on screen. There's no... there's no lewd, lascivious imagery or anything like that. Essentially, it is about Andie MacDowell, who's married to Peter Gallagher, who's a wealthy lawyer, and they seemingly have the perfect life, and she's beautiful and always been beautiful and popular. And as we find out, her husband is having an affair with her sister, who is not as pretty, but way more outgoing and more sexual, right? We learn early that Andie MacDowell's character doesn't really enjoy sex when she's telling her therapist, and and then a college friend of Peter Gallagher's, who he hasn't seen in a long time, comes by and is moving back to town, essentially, and that's played by James Spader. And his deal is that he is impotent. He has emotional problems that don't allow him to be intimate with a woman. He has to videotape them talking about sex, and then he can watch it later for his own pleasure. He's very sexy, though. He's got a mysterious vibe about him that it certainly attracts people, and certainly attracts women also, because of someone like Andie MacDowell is always being chased after, and then here's a guy who's not trying, so that works out nicely for him. But you don't really know what his motivations are at first, and slowly all sorts of stuff unfolds, and in the end people's lives are changed for the better, probably, and people who are being shitty get their comeuppance, just like any classic story. But it's really well written, and you keep guessing, and it feels so natural, and it's so small. So many movies now are so high concept, even the simple movies. It's this is the story of the first lesbian relationship. It's Jesus Christ, can't there just be a regular marital problems movie? Granted, I say that as we had one of the best marital problems movie, Marriage Story, recently. But, a majority of movies that come out it's he was the guy who took down the Nazis from his bedroom. It's they need to get the magic gems from the Oriental Sea, which is on the... It doesn't have to be this huge thing or some government conspiracy. Maybe it's just I've been watching a lot of spy movies. Anyway, this is just about people, regular people, and real problems that people have, and that I think it's, again, one of those things that people go, that movie was weird, like Punch Drunk Love, but it's just because it's not doing the same thing as it's not just treading the same path that every other romantic drama movie or movie dealing with sex has done. There's brilliant. There's no nudity or sex on screen in this whole movie. It's brilliant. And it ends up being an erotic drama or something like that without even trying that hard. Yeah, Andy McDowell's amazing. The acting is really amazing, especially Andy McDowell and James Spader. Like they have all these little nuance, little like almost like mistakes. Like they seem like delivery like like, but it's just like what I did there. It's like how people actually talk when it's not planned, and you stammer over your words or you try and take something back or you jump on each other's sentences like a real conversation. And that is partially writing and partially directing and partially performance. It's like all these things coming together. And it's really, really well made. And I think that movies should be less ambitious and just try, like this. They should just try and like tell a human story and have us guess, like not really be able to guess where it would go. Like I feel like the modern version of this would have like a murder in it. They'd be like, oh, infidelities would come out, and then somebody would hire Joe Exotic to kill somebody. So, yeah, it's my favorite scene. I think there's a couple really good scenes. One is when Andy McDowell's vacuuming, like cleaning up the house. And first of all, every way, it's just like a regular montage of somebody cleaning up the house, and like a lesser filmmaker would have just been like, oh, she's doing this, she's doing, but you see she's like very specifically like polishing things so that there are no streaks on it, and like washing the table, but not just like, but like really, really getting, putting the elbow grease in. And then she's vacuuming and she sucks up an earring in the vacuum, and she looks and she has this moment of realization. We have it all just on a close-up of her, like a 20-second shot of her just looking at the earring, and like we get to see it on her face, her realize that her husband is having an affair with her sister. Spoilers. And yeah, it's great acting, and they Steven Soderbergh does that a lot. This is like a really well edited movie. He's not cutting all over the place. He's just like letting the shot play out, letting the story play out within that scene, and only cutting when he has to, which is how you're supposed to do it. You don't use editing as like jazz hands to keep people, oh, look, a shiny thing I cut. You use it to forward the story. And it's just great storytelling. You don't see a lot of movies like this that much, and I think every movie could probably be like this, and I'd be happy, but perhaps it's just me. Every once in a while, it's fun to see someone blow up the Death Star for the 8th time, but most of the time, I just want sex lies and videotapes. Going on from here, Soderbergh makes I can't remember, his next movie's called like Faust or something like that, and then, or no, it's not Faust, it's Kafka, I think it's called. And I've never seen it. And then he does King of the Hill, which is this weird, like, it's so not weird. It's like a family movie about kids growing up in the Depression. It's so bizarre. It's like a Christmas Story or something like that. And it looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. And I kind of hate it. There's two kids in it, and their performances are dog shit, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that movie. Criterion released it as well, and I got all excited and bought it. Because I was like, yay, Steven Soderbergh. I've never seen this. And he's great. It stinks. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that later. But my favorite Soderbergh movie is Traffic. I think Traffic is the ultimate war on drugs movie. I also think it's one of the best multi-thread storyline movies that ties together nicely. And yeah, there's very few like socially conscious type movies like that are talking about political and social issues that I think are good, because they usually like try and end with an answer, and this one ends with like, I don't know what the fuck, like you can't fight a war on drugs because you're fighting your family, like you're fighting like, it's so ubiquitous, like it's not, it's just a waste of money to fight it, like you just will make it legal and tax it. That's not what he's saying, that's what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, I recommend this one a lot. You probably can't see it very many places. Maybe, I don't know if it's on Amazon or whatever. I'll take a look and let you know. That's not gonna happen. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. I got class in a few minutes, so I'm gonna go do that. Check this movie out. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, it makes you question a lot of things about yourself too. very good. That's like the best thing a movie can do, probably. It's like actually enact change, you know? Anyway, this song doesn't work at all, but that electric piano is cool, huh? That's the new electric piano sound right here. Sounds good. That piano sound. Cool. Well, we'll do more with the electric piano and actually come up with a good track at some point. All right. Talk to you soon.